Hello everyone and welcome to a new year. I know it has been quite some time since I've posted another video uh, between the weather we've had here, getting started with the new year, and work and everything else that we have going on, that I have going on. I have not had a chance to get back on and uh, share some more plot points. So, uh, with the newest Resident Evil movie having come out in theaters recently, though I have not yet seen it, and with the new Resident Evil 7 game, or Biohazard Resident Evil 7 in Japan having come out, I wanted to talk about the franchise. Not go over a list of the franchise, but rather what could happen next. Now, I think this is a good point to end the current franchise with Mila Djokovic. I am a big fan of Mila Djokovic's work. I think she's a phenomenal actress, and I think she's really been the core of that series, not only because she's in all the films, but she takes it seriously, she tries to be innovative, and she pours a lot of her own creativity into the films. And a lot of the clothing lines are actually her clothing lines. And I've always been very impressed by the way she has tried to keep a flow with the films, despite the fact that they do seem a little random at times and cut together very sporadically in terms of storytelling. But that aside, I think it's time for a new franchise. I would love to see a franchise that focuses more on the games, and what I mean is taking the stories from the games and adapting them to film. I think there's two ways you can do this. I think you can either do a complete reboot of the entire franchise, start with Resident Evil, the very first game, where they're in a haunted mansion. You have Chris, you have Jill, you basically have the STARS team that's part of Raccoon City Police, investigating a disturbance and being trapped in this haunted, horrific mansion. This has been done before in many other movies, including Wreck or Record, the horribly directed and created House of the Dead, if you even remember that one, by the director who has got a lot of scorn for video game movies, Uwe Boll, and many, many other films. But it could be a good place to start. The first Resident Evil movie was still one of my favorites, even though it's a little dated. It still has a great story. It's fun, good action, and really takes this horror elements and kind of turns it on its head in terms of making it a mix of horror and action. But I think doing a haunted house movie might be difficult right out of the gate. What I recommend doing is starting with Resident Evil 4 and focusing on Leon Kennedy. Now, those who haven't played the Resident Evil 4 video games, that has been, I think, originally released on the Nintendo GameCube, and then it was adapted for the Wii, and just about every other console that's been out there lately, both either in their arcades or they've upped the graphics or what have you. It is a great game, one of my favorite games, I would say, but the story elements, I think, could be whittled away and made into a film. And basically, you'd have Leon Kennedy, mysterious man with a mysterious past, looking into a disturbance in a small town in another country, and also searching for the president's daughter who has gone missing and been kidnapped. Along the way, Leon encounters a very strange settling of events. You could even team him up with his own team of people. That way you have some fodder for the zombies to feast on. But overall, it's him investigating what has occurred while also trying to rescue the president's daughter. Along the way, he uncovers a much larger plot involving Wesker, Kreitzer, and a whole slew of other biohazards associated with Umbrella. Apologize, I'm tired at the moment, so it's kind of late here. But point being is that as he gets deeper and deeper into trying to rescue the president's daughter, he's also uncovering these plots that involve Umbrella. Now, I think that mysterious past could link back to the Resident Evil 2 game, which is where you play as Leon or Claire, and you're in a zombie-infested Raccoon City trying to survive, while also uncovering some secrets about what has led to this outbreak. Or rather, well, yes, the outbreak, which has a lot of has stemmed from the first game, but of course there's other secrets involved, other pieces all connecting back to Umbrella and their study of the T virus and I think the G virus and biohazard weapons and everything else under the sun. Point being, though, getting back to it, 4 is a strong game on its own right. It has a very strong following, and I think it would be the type of game, if adapted correctly into a film, would pull in fans of the video game plus new fans as well. But that's my suggestion. I think from there, if that film does well, you can then go ahead and do a prequel, which would focus maybe on the original event that takes place in Resident Evil 1. If you have Wesker in 4, to some degree, then seeing him in 1 would make the audience go, huh, and would basically, as that movie progressed through following either Chris or Jill or vice versa, or switching between all the different characters as they're going through this horrific mansion, trying to get out and get to safety, and while uncovering what has occurred here, you, the audience, would have an idea of what has happened. You know that somehow Wesker's a part of it. So in other words, it would be very, I think, entertaining for the audience to know that, hey, something's going on. But we already know that Wesker is not who he appears to be. I think in this regard, you need to cast someone as Wesker, though, who is a well-known actor. Maybe someone who's a strong actor, even if you got an unknown for Chris or an unknown for Leon. The reason I suggest that is simply because Wesker is one of those villains who, for the Resident Evil franchise, is kind of like the Joker for the Batman franchise. He stands out, and though he's not a very emotional character, you need someone who can convey all that emotion. I'm not saying the current actor Wesker hasn't done that, but I think it would help for a new franchise to definitely put a star in that role, just as you put Mila Jovovich as the star, as the main character, as Alice in the current franchise. But anyway, that's my idea. I think you could then lead into Resident Evil 2 and kind of build your way into the traditional franchise of games. I feel, honestly, you could have your 4 start off with one trilogy of Leon and these biohazards trying to find Wesker, and have a prequel trilogy that shows what happened leading up to this world in which biohazards are real. One of my, I guess, concerns about the current Resident Evil movie franchise is that it looks like a cross between Mad Max and a Romero movie, which is not a bad thing. It just went from haunted facility under the ground, city overrun by the dead, to Mad Max in the desert. And I think they managed to make it work in some cases. I think going back and creating these isolated events within a common world is really what would help strengthen that franchise. Because if you have a modern day world that we could be living in and showing these bioweapons and these accidents and these horrific things happening, you create a real sense of fear there, especially, when you can mirror something maybe that's happening in the real world for the film. Versus now, I mean, we're not living in Mad Max times. Not yet, at least, as far as I'm aware. So it makes it a little harder to create that connection between the audience and what is happening in the film, and create a real sense of tension and to build off the audience's already preconceived anxiety about a situation that could turn real, possibly. So again, that's my idea for a new Resident Evil franchise. Thanks for joining, sticking with me, and leave your comments below.